Let's download PyCharm. Since we're on Windows, we'll choose the regular executable for Windows. We'll select create a desktop shortcut, updating the context menu, creating associations, and then adding the bin folder to the path variable. This is fine. Install. We will reboot later. Let's open up PyCharm and see what we have so far. Confirm, that's fine. I don't want to send. Let's create a new project. Yeah, so we don't have a version of Python installed. So this is something I missed originally when I went through and created the first tutorial on how to install PyCharm. I already had Python installed, so I didn't have any issues, but this machine does not have Python installed. So what do we do? Well, let's just do Python install just to show you guys what it looks like. So go Google, brings you to python.org, click on download Python. You're going to have all your different versions of Python. So if you're running on Linux or Unix, you can go here. You have Mac OS here, for Windows here. So I'm on Windows. I could click here, or I will select Windows, and then you can see all the different install options you have. We have a stable release, and then we have a Windows 64-bit installer. If I was running my Mac with a ARM architecture and I was running a Windows 10 VM or Windows 11 VM, I would install the Windows installer ARM64. But since we are using a normal Windows computer that's an x86 architecture, we will use the Windows installer. Now, if you guys are on Mac, let's see. Depends upon which architecture you're using. I think the teachers and the instructors have a different architecture. Ours is ARM based, which is Mac OS Silicon, whereas I think the students are on a different one. So I would look at whatever you have for here, download Python, and use that version. But if you're curious about the different stable releases, you can go into here and take a look. I think they're all universal installers, so it might work anyways if you go here to your releases. But I'll go to Windows and I'll just download the latest installer 64-bit since I have a 64-bit computer. Now we have the executable. I will use my admin privileges and I will add python.exe to path, and then I'll click install now. And I will also disable the path length limit just to bypass this character's length. I've had issues with this before, working with scripts, but for y'all, I wouldn't. You don't have to necessarily do this, just because you won't probably run into this issue. I do, and since this is my lab machine, I'm going to disable the path length limit. But you can do you, and that's fine. Now we can minimize this, go back to PyCharm. See, we still don't have our Python version to actually cancel and close PyCharm. Now if we go back to PyCharm and open it back up, we should, in theory, see our Python new project, and there we go. Now we have this. Python should pop up. We should be able to create a project. Now we're in our virtual environment as it loads. Now from here you could create a Scratch file if you wanted to. Where's Python at? There we go, Python. Or as part of a actual project. So we have here our scratches and consoles. This is kind of just kind of throwaway scripts or throwaway code if we wanted to. But if we were creating a project or like a assignment, you could go into here in the library, go to new Python file. I'll just have it be regular, call this test, and it's going to throw it into the proper location for it as part of the rest of the program within your files. And then we'll run some quick code. Author statement, I'll just call this me. We'll assign some variables. A equals 10, B equals 100, C equals car, Z equals input, and then we'll throw in some print statements. Print A, print B, C, and that's a tab completion. So if you're typing something, right, if I just type in, and we have some drop downs, P print, and there's this print. If you press the tab key, it'll automatically fill that out for you. Now let's try running it. What is your name? Philip. And it works. So this is the correct way to install PyCharm. Sometimes PyCharm will install Python automatically. I think that's what happened in my first circumstance. But for a lot of the student systems, what I'm hearing about, and a lot of my students in the classroom are also having this issue as well, that you have to install Python separately. So this is the corrected tutorial on how to do this. Feel free to let me know if there's any questions or concerns going forward. I will, anybody who's still having issues and ends up submitting their first couple assignments when it comes to Python late, I'll just knock off that late credit, or the late deduction, so you guys get full credit, because it's unfair of me to produce a tutorial that doesn't quite work for everybody, or at least showcase how to properly install it. So that's on me, that's my bad. But going forward, we should be able to fix this. And so let me know if there's any questions or concerns going forward, and I'll do my best to support you all. Appreciate it.